Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to do just a quick version of the other videos I had been posting. We're going to cover my top cards, bottom cards, and any like outliers, cards I've just been enjoying, cards that are fun, all in one video. So I'm not going to go in depth on all the cards, but just kind of briefly talk about any changes relative to my last standings that I talked about. So biggest, most important thing to mention, these categories are just like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how to sort them in any specific order. And I don't think specific order matters. So I see a lot of people being like, oh, having fourth Earlingas over Mana Crypt. These are just sorted by alphabetical order. So don't take that or they're sorted by, yeah, alphabetically. So don't take too much information into like the top down order. All that matters really is like this you take over this, over this, over this. At least these are my standings. Other people can have different ones, and I think that's totally fine. This is just how I've been drafting, and it's been going pretty well. So the biggest shakeup is I've demoted all of the Moxen below these like 6 cards. That doesn't mean you're always going to take like Minsc and Boo over a Mox, but I think at this point I would. I think Minsc and Boo just wins so many games that it doesn't matter if you're missing out on like a little Mox. And I know, oh, but a Mox goes in any deck. That's right, but Minsc and Boo you could just splash in any deck, and it just kills so fast. It's so broken. I think at this point I'm taking these over a Mox. Fourth through Lingus 2, like it just kills you. Like a Mox is great. It can let you play like a 2-drop on turn 1 or whatever. None of that matters if your opponent just plays fourth through Lingus, gets like 10 power for 6 mana or something, and you just die. So I think these I'm taking over a Mox. I would still probably take Black Lotus, Mana Crypt, or Soul Ring over Minsc and Boo. There's probably discussion there. And then Time Walk, I'm taking over Ancestral too. I've demoted Ancestral just because I don't care that much about drawing cards anymore. This doesn't do anything to the board. And there's so many games lately where you just die with cards in hand that I'd rather just have something else. And plus, like you compare Ancestral Recall to Fourth Ear Lingus or Minsc and Boo, like I know it costs 1 mana, but these things kill you and they draw a ton of cards. Like you fourth Ear Lingus on turn 3, you hit them for 2, and then you have the Monarch that ends up drawing 3, 4, 5 cards over the course of the game. And Minsc and Boo can draw 4 or 7. So, I don't know. Ancestral Recall is still, like, I'm super happy to take it, but I'm taking all of these over it for sure. And I think Ancestral versus Mox is a toss-up. You can have a discussion about that. What else? These are all pretty straightforward from last time. These cards are just busted, so nothing there. Birds of Paradise is a stand-in for like all the mana elves, basically. So they're all kind of in, you're pretty happy to like get it second to third type situation. So it's not just Birds of Paradise is better than the rest. This just represents all of them. Same with Wooded Foothills for all the fetches. I've upgraded Jite tremendously. I think it's top 25, so it's very high in the like, I'm happy to second pick it. I'm not usually happy to first pick a Jite because you want to be getting, something from this list. But it's great. I was high on it and I was kind of shy about it, but like just the last games, it just wins so many games, man. So it's definitely somewhere in the top half of cards you're really happy to second pick. Comparable to like Dismember, Glorybringer, that kind of thing. Other take that I've been trying Mother Runes a lot lately, and I think she's the best white 1-drop. Like there's Ocelot Pride. This kind of stands in for the Guide of Souls too. Like they're kind of similar in great third picks, but I think Mother Runes is just better. There's so many games I play where you play turn 1 Mom. If they don't kill her, the game ends. I've seen so many games where they use like 3 removal spells to try and kill her, and it was worth it. Mom's busted, so play more Mother of Runes. Otherwise, I don't think anything in this list has changed too much. They brought back Glorybringer. It's great. Take it, play it, have a good time. Here, I'm much higher on Elspeth Stormslayer than I used to be. I'm kind of at this weird point of tension right now where Elspeth Stormslayer and Titania, they're both great. Elspeth kills like real fast. She has removal, but her turn 1 board presence isn't that high because you play her and just make 2/1/1s. So on her own, she's not that good. But if you have any token producer or anything else, she just goes blet. The board is so big, and then you get flying and kill immediately the next turn. Whereas Titania, for the most part, is like 10 power for 5 mana and a mana acceleration. Sometimes you get a strip mine. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure this one out. I think Elspeth is better than Titania, but I need to play more games to see. And then Nissa is also somewhere in that realm of like these are just great 5 drops, but I don't know. I don't know. So there's something to figure out with Titania, Nissa, and Elspeth. They're all great, so just take and play all of them. But I was way undervaluing this card. It's so insane. Like it's just so good. The passive is insane, but even without the passive, it just does stuff. And the 0 is like it basically just says you win the game next turn most of the time. I think that's pretty much it for this. I did demote a lot of the blue cards. Like I think Mana Drain, Remand are just way worse than the 1 mana counter spells like Spell Pierce Daze, and then Mana Tithe. And I demoted the blue relative to Reprieve just because I think blue is not a color I'm happy to be in. But I think like Mana Drain, Remand, Mana Leak, Miscalc, those all fit in here. I'm still pretty happy to get those like 4th or 5th pick if I'm in blue. But most of the time I'm not like using a high pick on them. Other people do that, so I don't often get blue cards, and that's kind of why. Balance, I think balance should be higher, but for my specific playstyle, it doesn't work for me. But I like it's a busted card. So I think for anyone else, you're pretty happy to like second pick balance. Just my playstyle doesn't jive with it, so I'm putting it kind of lower here. But still great. Fractured Enemy's busted. Pest Infestation, I can't tell if I'm too high on or not, so I'm just putting it here. Like, I've been first picking it, but a lot of the times it's just 3 mana to make 2 1/1s and kill something. Because games don't go that long, so I don't know. This is one I'm watching. It's fine. And then here are the bottom 50. Not too much change. I think the virtually worthless category is pretty much the same. I might even just put like all of the pump spells in here. Like, I've played against this archetype a couple times now, and every time I'm just so happy to face it because it's like, oh, you have a Thoughtseize and a Lightning Bolt. Great. Now I'm just stuck with Monstrous Rage, Mutagenic Growth in my hand. So I'm really happy to face this archetype, which means it's probably not a good archetype. My guess is people who are winning with it are playing against people who aren't playing Interaction, and maybe it's pretty good, but beating up on the bad decks doesn't make it a good archetype. So yeah, the pump spells are bad. I've demoted Dreadhorde Arcanist. It just is pretty sad. I put Tifa down here. I've played against it because I hadn't played against it before. This is one I'm totally like willing to have my mind changed, but in every interaction, I'm just so happy to see my opponent have a Tifa because it's like in the dream scenario, they can get it up to maybe 8 power a lot of the time. Like you have to go like Tifa, pump spell, fetch land, blah blah blah. 1 removal spell, 1 Thoughtseize. They're out so many cards in tempo, and if they don't have that, it's like a 2 mana 2/2. If they have a land. So I don't know. I'm putting this card as like part of a trap archetype. I'm totally willing to be wrong, but until I see like a, until an opponent actually hits me with a Tifa, I'm gonna put it here. And then maybe they hit me with it, I change my tune. But it seems bad. Same with this card, basically the same kind of thing. It's like you're spending 4 mana to get a 4/4 and then hopefully double the power of your thing, but I guess the problem is this is Vintage Cube, right? So any of these, power matters, grow my stats stuff, like this is a format with Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Force of Will, Solitude, Pyrokinesis, all these free Snuff Out, all these free or very, very cheap removal spells that just don't care about your stats. So if you're just spending all this time trying to grow one big creature, they just do that, and you're like, okay. I just lost all of this. And you have to, it's like this, the AB combos where you're trying to assemble like pump spell plus creature. Like if you just draw pump spells and no creatures, you're going to have such a bad time. And if you draw like creatures without pump spells or the synergies, you just have like a 4 mana 4/4, which in general is kind of good. But for Vintage Cube, there's much better things. Specifically in green, the 4 mana 4/4 stat line, there's so many of them. You have like Asika's Chariot, Questing Beast, the one that you can transform. There's like one more as well, 4 mana 4/4. So it's just like this is the worst out of all of them. The upside's okay, but I'd rather have a card that just does anything else. I think that's all of those. Oh, Voltarian Epic here. I'm really, really low on Reanimator. If you're playing Reanimator and liking it, this card goes higher, but it's just kind of meh. I don't know. I still do put Tursa in underwhelming, and that's only because it's a red 3-drop and it's competing with like Lelia, Gut, Broadside Bombardiers, so many other good red 3s that I almost never get this card in my deck because the other ones are so good. So I think this isn't a problem with Tursa. I think this card's totally fine, totally serviceable. It's just a problem with the specific mana cost that it's at. Maybe it should be an outclassed by other cards, actually. I'll put it over there. It's not bad in any way. I'm happy to play it, but I usually just have so many other red 3s that it doesn't help. This card, every time my opponent plays it, I'm very happy. Same with the Vora, for the most part. It's quite weak. Arwin, I've upgraded. I don't know if that matters too much. Low benefit, low cost. This is the exact same as last time. Doesn't have a good home. I think this is the same as last time. And then outclassed by other cards. I think I added Crabomination because it's just kind of weird. I've had like 3 opponents reanimate this against me and then lose the game. Like, I think turn 1, I've had 2 people play this like turn 1 or turn 2 and then just lose. And so that shouldn't, like, even Grave Titan's better than that. So, I don't know. It's fine. Delayed Blast Fireball I put because you have like Fury, Pyrokinesis, you have the black-red one that you pay life to kill stuff. Like, you have all of these red Plague Wind type effects already, but all of the rest of them let you distribute damage as you choose. This is specifically like 2 damage to everything. And a lot of times you want to kill like a 3 and a 1 or something like that. So this is mostly just, it's the worst out of all of them, and you can usually get this effect if you want it. So that's the worst one. Enduring Innocence I'm actually pretty low on just because like the 3-drop slot is really important. Double white is kind of hard, and I just don't think drawing cards matters anymore like that much. Like this, you play it and you play another creature and you draw a card, whatever. I would much rather have anything else, like at least Lelia grows in stats, and Adeline like creates creatures when it attacks. Skyclave Apparition removes things from your opponent's board. So it's not bad, but I always end up cutting it because 3s are so important, and I just don't need card draw. Kellen's fine. I just never play it. Legolas's Quick Reflexes, I've tried a couple times. My issue with this card is, like, you want your 1 mana removal spells to be flexible, or like, it's instant speed, right? So you want it to be able to kill your opponent's stuff on the end step. Like, say you have this up, and your opponent plays, let's say Broadside Bombardiers or Gut. You can't really use this to kill the Broadside Bombardiers or the Gut. You have to like wait till your turn and then play it on your creature and then attack, untap, whatever. And it's even in the dream scenario, let's say you want to use it as a sorcery speed removal, right? You have, I don't know, Tifa Lockhart. You've grown her stats. I guess it has split second, so they can't kill it. Never mind, that's not a problem. It has split second. But it's just basically, it's like a sorcery speed situational flame slash. You can use it as a counter spell sometimes, but that just doesn't come up that much to make it worth it. So I'm pretty low on it, and I have yet to see it be used for anything better than just kind of like a weird green shock. Yeah, that's pretty much it for those. And then I have one more card to talk about. I think of all the new cards they added, this is probably the only one that will stay, and it's one I'm actually quite happy with. I would put it in my cube, but I just don't like Spider-Man cards, so maybe I'll make a custom version that's not spider themed. But yeah, I'm not putting Universes Beyond in my cube if I can avoid it. But this card, like, artifacts and creatures your opponent enter tapped, it's just so good. Like, you can watch, I've played it quite a few times now, and it's relevant like all the time. Like, it stops Glorybringer, it stops the One Ring, kind of, or at least slows it down. You know, they play like Lelia with Flash, or not Lelia, the dog, whatever the dog's name is. With Flash, they try and block, they can't do that. It basically just gives you like an extra attack step with most of your creatures. So really like strong tempo play. Sometimes hoses the artifacts deck, which is kind of funny. Um, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this one. The flexible cost is nice. Otherwise, I think all the other cards are pretty. All the other new cards they added are probably going to get cycled out pretty quickly. So anyway, that's my take on the state of the cube. Let me know if you like this format and if you'd like to see me do it more often, like maybe once per season or something, and I'll keep doing it. See you there.